society revolve around the problems continuing, like the national debt, whereby we've got some 25% of Americans are employed in the financial services industry in some capacity. The jails, think of all the people involved in the criminal industrial complex. And law enforcement, they're the least culpable. They're just doing what their job. They're enforcing the law. And they believe in what they do. A lot of them say, hey, if crime dries up tomorrow, I'll find a new occupation. But just think of all those jobs where crime would virtually disappear overnight if there was nobody that was desperately poor. The dubious wars would be virtually impossible to get started if people weren't compelled to join the service for money, if they didn't need to be conscripted, if they just, hey, I'm going to pay to go kick Hitler's butt. You see, that's the American man. Any red-blooded American man, that's his attitude. You don't need to pay me. I'll do it for free. So we don't have to worry about kicking butt. We can do that. We're the most powerful nation in the world. We're not taking crap from anybody. Some pissant dictator like Hitler, we're going to snuff. We'll shoot him like a dog without compunction. Then we got the social welfare industry, some of the nicest people in the world, social welfare workers, right? I would agree with that. Well-meaning, good people. But those jobs are going to disappear. Who needs to be threatened by these things? Nobody. I'm not a threat. God isn't a threat. Jesus isn't a threat to anybody. You get to be prosperous too. Everybody. It's your planet. You're not chopped liver. So we got the social welfare industry, all those jobs, the jobs in the financial industry, lending, putting us in debt, disappear. The criminal industrial complex, those jobs, and then the dubious warfare. I'll think of just those four entities, all those jobs involved, and the problems need to persist in order for people to be relevant in those jobs. We need desperate poverty. We need destitution. So who's creating these problems? And for what reason? They want to put us to work in the way the capacity they want. They want us all thinking, well, it's just the way it is. And I guess there's got to be a rhyme and a reason. Everything's got to make sense somehow, right? That's what we all tell ourselves. So we're all trained. We're indoctrinated, programmed, conditioned, inculcated into believing this way when nothing can be further from the truth. If we listen to God, we'll see, wow, what a departure. When God gets his way on earth, what it's going to look like. I want to be there, and I want you to be there. There's no shortage of real estate in that realm. Believe me, friends. You want to be there. So, I've told you what I can. I mean, you know what? It's tough. And like I said, at the end of the day, we're going to need God's help. Boycott a high cost of living as best you can. And you could save your money. I mean, if you've got all kinds of money, just still live a low cost of living. Is the best thing you could do for other people. That's paying it forward. That's helping somebody else out. You understand? Because remember, what is one man's nominal fee, to pay, is another man's exorbitant burden. Okay, and we've got to care about each other just like you would a family. So you're not doing anybody a favor if you can just comfortably keep paying a higher cost of living. You've got to think about your brothers and sisters out there that are really struggling and at the brink of going under. Okay, they're just too passive. They can't speak out. They can't ask for housing cost reduction, whether it's their mortgage or their rent. They're just, you've got to do it for somebody that's not as strong as you, a brother or sister that's going to be living under the bridge or couch surfing or living in their car. And just imagine yourself having to face that reality. Okay, and then you give a damn, because God wants you to give a damn about other people. Jesus himself said, whatsoever you do or fail to do, whatever you fail to do for other people, we fail to do for him. Do you understand? That's a big deal. So when you stand before him on Judgment Day, you're going to answer for that. The things you did not do when you had an opportunity to do them. And that's something tangible and concrete you can do for other people. Keep your cost of living low. Keep your housing expenses low. Keep everything as low as you possibly can. Feed the beast as little as you can. You don't want to keep feeding them and making them fat and strong and all that. No. Feed the beast as little as you can. So don't think you're doing such a great service to society because your taxes are high. You're not. You're not helping anybody. You can bitch and moan about the welfare recipients that are taking all your taxes, just want to sit around and do nothing. Okay, or you could be honest. You could say, well, what caused these people to be poor? Why do we have increasing poverty? Why is it being sustained like this? Who's benefiting from it? Why do all these jobs revolve around the problem? And there's so many problems in society would disappear too that I'm not even listing, like abortion. All those women that are getting abortions because they're afraid they can't afford their babies, they're too proud to ask for welfare. How about all the traffic on the freeways? All that traffic overnight would disappear if nobody was destitute, nobody was desperately poor and stressed out and freaked out about paying bills. Bills that keep getting higher and higher, that hamster wheel, harder and harder to turn until what? You know it's going to come to a grinding halt. So aren't the smart ones those that jump off as soon as they can and seek the lowest possible cost of living you can? And do it for other people, even if you don't need it yourself, even if you're making gobs of dough. But you have a conscience, you want to keep your soul intact, then do it for others. So I'm giving you the best information I can. Make a demand on Trump because he's turning into a feckless pustule. He's building the Tower of Bubble. Thinking, stock market, that's the only litmus test for a great economy and jobs. Got all, lowest unemployment, all this crap, these useless jobs. If we were all doing useful jobs, okay, we'd be working about 5 hours a week, building homes, working in factories and farms, etc. Transportation, really important jobs that the wheels of society depend on to continue to turn. You see why I'm a champion of the minimum wage worker? The very most critical imperative jobs to the welfare of society are done by these people. So the last people you want to cheat is those. They already have no stature, no status in society. They're nobodies. They're just doing unskilled work. Oh my God, you do what? Oh, I'm somebody because I'm Dr. Phil. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm so important. That's why I'm a multimillionaire, or this person or that person. Hey, nothing against. I'm still thinking about being a psychiatrist someday. I'd probably be a good one. It'll be the next show. Will be Dr. Chris out there, right? So I'm not picking on anybody in any particular profession, but everybody's important. And unless you admit that everybody's important, and the world's not going to come to a grinding halt if you fall off the edge tomorrow, okay? If you're a good egalitarian, a good American, an idealist, a godly human being that values right values like conscience, integrity, honor, human beings over money, okay? Then you know what? Who are you? I have no regard for you. God has no regard for you. The righteousness of men is as filthy rags to the Lord. Be somebody. Ask Him for advice. Ask Him for right opinions. You're going to get it in spades. Open up, man. It's coming into your lap. Spread your arms. Take it in, because He'll give you ask for something truly good, He'll give it to you. You want knowledge, you want empowerment, you want the courage to speak truth to power, and whoever else will listen, to really be somebody and affect change, and to be able to say, I'm looking forward to the next realm because I know I'm going to be worthy and deserving of inheriting good things, because good things are coming. Believe me, really good things, better than I'm talking about. I mean, this renewal of all things Jesus talked about, where all that organic suffering is gone. No more punishing heat, no more bitter cold, no more natural disasters, the predation paradigm gone, everything negative gone. That's what's coming, okay? So, I mean, it's going to be good. We're going to be absolutely, utterly free. Nobody is going to be in that space, in that place, okay, that wants to have an advantage over you, because this world is rife with those kind of sociopaths out there that don't care. They don't treat you like family. They don't care. They want an advantage. How can they have an exclusive privilege and this advantage if you're an equal? They can't have that. So, you know what? Only God can help us contend with this profound and acute paradox. And it is. It's tough. On one hand, we got to all admit that we love money because, hey, what kind of a liar doesn't love money? Who would believe somebody that said they don't love money? God knows you love money. God knows I love money. I'm not confessing it. And it's a root of all evil. How dare you say you love money? That's blasphemy. Hey, you could either Say it like it is or be a liar. And I'd rather say it like it is. I'm not lying. Sure, I'm just like everybody else. Of course you love money. It's like saying I don't love paying my bills. I don't like a few extra bucks so I could take my girl out to dinner. No, nobody's going to buy it, okay? So don't try to sell it. So what you're doing is you're reconciling that paradox with the fact that, hey, you hunger and thirst for a world without any form of money, so nobody can have an advantage over you. You're not under the yoke, the burden of some other man's whims. You're not being perpetually robbed and increasingly so. All right, let's see what do we got for current recent events and other talking points I wanted to get into. We got this diplomatic immunity where I forgot where it happened. It was England, I guess, where some idiot, some woman, I guess, in her 30s, and they're not telling her name. She gets to remain anonymous. But she got in a head-on wreck, killed some guy on a motorcycle, and no, see, that's that elitist mentality. Get rid of that crap. What a bunch of bull. That's a load, man. No diplomatic immunity. See, I mean, what an evil world we live in. That's evil in your face, man. You know, this Democratic candidates, I mean, well, I used to like Joe Biden back in the 80s. That guy he's a career politician. And I kind of agreed with some of the stuff he said back then. But not anymore. I think he's a pissant. I don't like Joe Biden. He makes me want to vomit. Elizabeth Warren, you know, at this point at least, she hasn't made me want to vomit, okay? But Trump, as far as Trump's concerned, you know what? If he wants me to vote for him, he's got to stop being a feckless, pustule excuse for president and do something momentous. He's got to push for a fiat currency, a competing fiat currency. He's got to talk things over the U.S. Treasury people, get a payoff figure, and get these people out of our hair once and for all. Because that burden for that national debt is falling on the backs of the poor through diluted money, through perpetually increasing cost of living. You understand how that works? That's how they're sustaining this debt. That's how we're creating more and more multi-billionaires, more and more multi-millionaires, and more poverty all at the same time, simultaneously, concurrently. This is fascist BS, man. And the government now, anybody working in city, county, state, or federal government, they all see the writing on the wall. Well, hey, it works to my advantage when we raise the real estate prices because we know we get more tax. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out how this scam works and how we're trending toward fascism more and more and more, how far down this demonic rabbit hole we are, what dire straits we're in, okay? We're in a lot of trouble, my friends, and we got to wake up and smell the steaming pile of rotten, maggot-ridden dog crap, okay? And there's no smelling it sooner than later because it's upon us, man. And remember, if we ever start seeing a trend where your cost of living declines, these people are going to cry the heavens, the sky is falling, man. You watch. Worst thing. See, the only hope, even Trump is talking like that. Like we got to debase the currency. That's the answer for the, really. And then they'll tell you, well, wages up, wages. Oh, that's what's causing the inflation. Man, that makes me nuts. You are liars, or you're idiots, or you're a perfect combination thereof. And you know you are. And you're on the highway. No, you're on the freeway to hell. You know, you're on a rocket to hell. You're evil. Lying to people when you know the truth. Oh my, how are you going to face your owner, man? How are you going to do that? Deceiving people when you know better? Again, wages could be 50 cents and worth more than that $1 an hour in the early 60s. So, oh no, I know right from wrong. I know basic mathematics. You know, I know a lot of people on the inside track of this weather modification program. Some people will refer to chemtrailing and all those. And from these people I trust very much, of great repute, tell me that these weather people, all these meteorologists on the news, every one of them have been briefed and told, listen, you're going to be fired. If you mention chemtrailing and the weather modification program that's been on for decades, you're fired. It's that simple. So you wonder why mum's the word with these people. Because they don't want to be responsible. You understand these evildoers at the top that are manipulating the weather for the changes in the climate worldwide. But yes, they can. The world's a small place. And with enough jumbo jets out there spraying some concoction to reflect the sunlight, at least that's the pretext. We don't know. It's not biological chemical weaponry. They're spraying it to lobotomize us all slowly. We don't know what the hell's going on.